In the last demo, I'd like to show you the TinyGPS++ library, which is a library that supersedes the previous TinyGPS library, also very popular. The thing I like about TinyGPS is that it's got a very straightforward, very easy to understand user interface or programming interface. And I think that's a big advantage, obviously. So here's the homepage for TinyGPS++, made by Michael Hart from Arduiniana. Lots of information, example of usage here. You can see that as far as the interface is concerned, once you have created an object, you can check to see that you have data coming from your GPS device. And then for individual items like the altitude, for example, you can check to see if you've got an update available. And if you do, then you can go ahead and get the latest update just like that. The object, the type of data you're looking for, and then the attribute meters. You can do the same thing for things like latitude and longitude and the altitude in meters. You can grab things like direction and lots of other things. So a full example here of all the different kinds of values that you can extract from your GPS using TinyGPS++ and many others. Now, to install it, you need to go to the GitHub account, so Michael Hart at TinyGPS+, and then download the zip. And as always, install it using your Arduino IDE. Let's go and have a look at the first example. Let's open up examples, TinyGPS+, have a look at the first device example. That's a simple way to get started. So the only thing I'm going to fix here are the definitions of the two pins. So I've got my RX pin at pin number 2 and the TX pin at number 3. GPS board is the same at 9600 as earlier. So I'm going to create the GPS object here, set up my software serial port, and then inside the loop, I'm doing all the processing. So check first to see that we've got some data waiting in a serial interface, then grab the data from the serial interface. That's what's happening here. And then encoded or actually decoded using our GPS library. And we'll call display info, and inside display info is where we output the components of the data that the GPS device is sending. So here's our location latitude and the location longitude, the GPS date month and date, and so on. So if I upload it, there you go, there's your data. And again, the data that the sketch gives us are compatible with Google Maps. So you can just copy and paste that into the Google Maps search box and it will take it to the location. What else can we do with TinyGPS++? Let's have a look at the second example. Let's have a look at the full example. There's a few more there, but this one gives us a lot more. Note, oh, of course, I need to fix the software serial port. Okay, all right, let's try again. Okay, so how many satellites we've got fixed? H-stop, not sure what that is. Latitude and longitude, date and time, altitude, and so on. So a lot of interesting information here. Distance, you can also calculate distances between 2 points, so your current point, and in this case, London. And how about we also have a look at the kitchen sink. Okay, so this is supposed to be a 2. And that's supposed to be a 3, I believe. I hope I've got that correct. Let's see. Okay. Oh, sorry. The baud rate should be 9,600 here. That was the error. Okay. Okay, so what do we have? So a lot of data. Stop it from scrolling. So location, longitude, latitude, date, time, a lot of raw data here, but useful depending on your application. So there's speed in knots, miles per hour, meters per second, kilometers per hour. Obviously, I'm not going anywhere right now, and neither is my GPS module. So there's a little bit of an error in these readings, but very useful information anyway. So that's what Duniana can do for you. Probably easier to use than the Adafruit library, but between the two of them, you've got two very, very good tools to use in your own applications. One thing I'll say about TinyGPS++ is that it doesn't depend on a particular chipset in the GPS module. So it can work pretty much with any GPS module that can send out serial data using a standard GPS format. So it's probably it is the library that you want to use if you want to use something other than the GPS module provided by Adafruit. So I hope all this is useful and I didn't mix you up too much. If you have any questions or comments, please email me or leave them in the forum.